Before we start this episode off, if you haven't yet, please hit the subscribe button. Please hit a like and comment what city you listening from. It will help the algorithm for YouTube so my video will get more exposure. If you like what we're doing, that would be a good way to help out. But this is the dark side of Muncie, the unsolved murder of Garth Rector. This episode is based on reportings from the Star Press, public records, and direct interviews with Garth Rector family. All individuals mentioned are presumed innocent unless proven guilty in the court of law. Any theories expressed are identified as personal belief and not confirmed findings. This story is told to honor Garth's life. Listener discretion is advised. So it's March 21st, 2008. It's Good Friday. The kind of Indiana evening where the air still carried the last chill of winter. The kind of night where the porch lights glow early and people prepare for the Easter weekend. Inside a rental home in Delaware County, groceries sat on the kitchen island. A travel bag rested nearby. An alarm had likely been set for 1 or 2 in the morning. Because the father had plans. He was supposed to drive to Indianapolis, pick up his daughter, and catch a 7 a.m. flight. Instead, that father was shot 5 times with a small caliber handgun in his own kitchen. His name was Garth Rector. And when his sister was told that night, her first thought was anger. It was disbelief. This doesn't happen to us, she said. This doesn't happen to normal people. So let's focus on who Garth was. So before crime scene tape, before speculations, before 18 years of headlines asking who did it, there was a boy in Muncie who could run. In 1973, his name showed up in sports sections. 8th grade cross country winner, tying the school record with a finish of 5 minutes and 27 seconds. 13 years old, just a kid, already pushing his body to his limit. That kind of time doesn't come from talent alone. It comes from practice, from running when your legs feel heavy, from breathing so hard your chest burns, from not quitting when the finish line still feels far away. Picture it. A middle school track meet, parents standing along the edge of the course, shoes hitting the pavement, and a kid leaning forward, arms pumping, eyes locked ahead. He wasn't running from anything. He was running towards something. That record didn't just mean he was fast. It meant he was focused. It meant he could dig deep. And that matters because those early years shaped the person. So when you grow up, learning how to fight through pain, how to stay steady when you're tired, how to push when everything in you is telling you to stop, you carry that into adulthood. Running turned into football. Football turned into wrestling. And wrestling teaches you something different. It teaches you how to stand your ground, to look someone in the eye and stay calm when pressure is on you. No teammates to hide behind. No one else to blame. Just you. That's confidence. That's the same confidence people saw in him later in life. It didn't appear overnight. It was built on tracks, on fields, on mats. Built breath by breath, long before anyone would say his name in a courtroom or a news broadcast. He was just a kid who ran fast, and he kept going. The confidence people misread. His sister told me he carried himself with confidence. I think some people thought he wasn't friendly, but she smiled when she said this. He was open to anyone and everyone. Confidence can be intimidating, but confidence is not cruelty. Garth wasn't loud. He wasn't flashy. He was steady. He became the assistant wrestling coach at Muncie Central, pouring years into kids who needed structure. He believed in discipline. He believed in pushing people to be stronger than what they already was. He was rotten, his sister laughed. like any only boy in the family. And you can hear it when she said, not frustration, all love. He grew up surrounded by sisters, and he knew it. He would tease them constantly. He'll say he was mom's favorite because he was the only boy. And then he'll be like, oh, I'm just kidding. But you can picture it, him standing in the kitchen, arms crossed, grinning, and their mom rolling her eyes. His sister pretending to be annoyed, but smiling anyway. He liked to stir the pot, not in a mean way, in a let me get a reaction kind of way. He loved to debate. He liked asking, why do you think that? And then arguing his side just for the sport of it. Sports wasn't the only thing he was competitive in. But it wasn't cold. It wasn't harsh. It was energy. He filled rooms. And when he walked in, you knew he was there. Not because he was loud, but because he was steady, confident, and present. His sister said something else that sticks. He was always the protector. And that's what big brothers do. They stand in front. They make sure everyone else is okay. And that confidence people sometimes misunderstood. At home, it felt safe. It felt familiar. It felt like someone who would show up if you called. That's who he was growing up. Not a headline, not a victim. If you really want to understand Garth, start here. He was a father, not just in name. He cherished his daughter, April. That's the word his sister used, cherish. And you can hear it in her voice. It wasn't casual. It wasn't distant. It was deep. He paid attention. He asked questions. He wanted to know what was going on in her world. Not just the big things, but the small things too. He wasn't the type to sit quietly on the sidelines of her life. He showed up. If she needed a ride, he drove. If she needed advice, he talked to her through it. If she needed support, he stood behind her, steady and strong. He had opinions. He liked to debate. But when it came to his daughter, there was no debate about how she felt. He was proud of her, protective of her, and committed to her. His sister said something that painted the picture perfectly. Oh my gosh, he would just love them two baby boys she have. You can imagine it. Him sitting on the floor with toy trucks, laughing too loud. Because the playful energy, it didn't disappear when he became a dad. It softened. It deepened. He still liked to stir the pot, but now it came with responsibilities, with patience, with care. He wasn't perfect. No parent is. His sister said it plainly. He had his faults, just like we all do. But what stood out wasn't perfection. It was effort. It was presence. It was a love that showed up in action, in late night drives, in conversations, in everyday moments that don't make headlines, but build a life. When people remember Garth as a father, they don't remember a title. They remember a man who was there, who cared, who took his role seriously, and who loved his daughter in a way that was steady, consistent, and real. The moment everything broke. For Angie, that day wasn't dramatic. It wasn't chaotic. It was ordinary. She knew his plan. He was going to leave work at Ball State, go home, take a nap, wake up around 1 or 2 in the morning, drive to Indianapolis, pick up April, then head to the airport at 7 a.m. That was it. Simple. But they haven't heard from him. She called. It went straight to voicemail. I just left a message. She said, "Hey Garth, just call me. Make sure you're awake. Give me a call." She wasn't panicking, just checking, just making sure. Then her sister Marty called, and her tone was different. She said, "When you get here, don't take any of your luggage or anything out. Just come straight up to my apartment. I need to talk to you." That's when something shifted. She kept asking, "What's going on? What's going on?" Marty told a small lie. She said something was going on in the apartment complex, Just leave the stuff in your car. So when they arrived, Angie Sue, and Marty met them downstairs. Met them at the bottom. That detail mattered. She led them to the apartment. They sat down. Angie was on the couch, and Marty was in the recliner across from them. And before she said it, Marty warned them. This when Angie got emotional. Because even though it's been 18 years, it's still very fresh. Then she said it. Marty said Garth had been shot, and he died. She said she just stared at her. This doesn't happen to us, she said. This does not happen to normal people. In a strange, almost protective way, her mind tried to reject it. In a sick way, I thought she was going to bust out laughing, like it was a joke. Not that that's funny, but you just can't imagine that. Then reality hit. She started screaming, crying. Then Marty started crying. See, Marty worked in the military. She don't cry. But when she did, that's how real it felt. Angie, she worked for Muncie Central for 33 years. She immediately grabbed her phone and started calling police officers she knew, trying to confirm, trying to make sure, hoping someone would say it wasn't true. But it was. They left immediately, left Marty's apartment, drove straight to the airport, brought the first plane ticket they could to get back to Indiana. And when they landed, everything changed. Her family made her the liaison. When the police were called, they called me. She said she went into flight mode. I just started getting stuff done. Because when the world shattered in front of you, sometimes the only way to survive it is to face it. A few days later, she walked into his home. She needed clothes for the funeral. What she saw, she could see where his body was laying. Bullet holes in the wall. The groceries still in the bag. The envelope with $1,200 sitting in there. His computer, his keys, nothing taken. They assumed he bent down to let his dog out of the cage, she said, and they shot him from behind. Then her voice changed. But he stood up because Garth was big and strong. He stood up and faced them. He saw them. That detail still hung her because he saw the people who took his life. The investigation and the frustration. Authorities ruled it a homicide. Police explored personal motive. There was persons of interest. Some have since passed away. If they knew something, they took it to the grave, she said. She wrote letters every week in the newspaper. Every time she did, police got flooded with calls. They followed up on every lead, she said, but nothing stuck. And that when her voice turned from sad to tired. I don't know at this point if we will ever find out who did it. Now this is the part that hurt the most. 2 months after Garth was killed, their mother had a massive stroke. There are more strokes. Vascular dementia. She was placed in a nursing home. She died without knowing who killed her son. Their father passed away recently. He died without knowing. That sentence laid heavy. They died without knowing. After the death, Angie created the Garth Fest. She raised $10,000 for a reward. She organized the Garth Walk for 10 years because her mother felt alone. As a sister, I grieve differently than a parent, she said. My mother needed to be around mothers who understood. That's not grief, that's survival. So I asked Angie, I said, if the person responsible is listening right now, what would you say? She didn't hesitate. Why? Why did you take his life? What made you feel like you was God? She shared her personal belief about what happened. Clearly her opinion. But her real question is simple. Why him? Why that night? Why that house? Then I asked, what did she want the city to remember Garth for? She said, he had his faults, just like we all do, but none of them deserve to be murdered for it. He had such a good heart. She didn't want you to remember the bullet holes. She wants you to remember the athlete, the coach, the father who cherished his daughter, the brother who teased his mom, the man who stood up for people. If you have a candle nearby, light it. We're going to say his name. Garth Rector. A father, a brother, a son, a coach. Light it. Let it burn for a moment. Let the flame represent a life that mattered. Say his name out loud. If you don't have a candle, drop the emoji in the comment section. Let his name fill the space. Let his family see that people still care. And if you know anything at all about what happened, contact your local law enforcement. Silence protects no one. Even the smallest detail could matter. Unsolved does not mean forgotten. As long as his name is spoken, he live on. Say his name, Garth Rector.